So I'm sure that most of you are aware of the area of the circle. That the area of a circle is equal to pi times the radius to the power of 2. Everybody knows this as a fact, but do you also know it, like, visually? Like, what does this even mean? Well, if you clicked on this video, you might not. So I'm gonna try to show you something. So let's just start with the concept of the radius. If we draw a line from the middle of the circle to its edge, that is the radius. Alright, fun fact, if you duplicate this thing, this is the diameter. Okay. Anyway, some very smart people found out about a pretty fun fact, that if you take the circumference of the circle, so just this entire outer line, and you split it up into parts that have the length of the diameter of this line inside, then it turns out that you need 3.1 of these lines to make this circle right here. So we could try to visualize that. So this is one diameter. Now we got 2 of them. Oh, damn it. Now we got 3 of them. And then we need like a tiny part. Okay. I don't know. Something like that. So these are 3.1 lines. And it turns out that this is how many lines of the diameter you need to fill out the entire circle to get the circumference. This number right here, it's 3.1, right? Okay, so let's keep this in the back of our heads. This is pi. This is what it means. Just the amount of these lines right here, this diameter thing, the amount of these lines that you need to fill out the entire circle, the circumference. To describe that, which I just talked about, there's a formula, and the formula says the circumference of a circle is equal to 2 times pi times the radius. So what this means, okay, so this is the radius, the r, and we duplicate it, we multiply it by 2, and when we do that, we get this. So we got these 2 lines forming the diameter. We multiply this thing by pi, so by this amount, and we're basically just filling out the entire circle. This is what the circumference means. So let's talk about the area, the thing that the video is originally about. So we see some pretty similar, almost happening. We got the pi, you know, this. So the amount of diameter lines that you need to fill it out. So we still got that going on. It's times the radius times this thing. But this time it's to the power of 2. So it's radius times the radius. So what the hell does that mean? Good question. You might remember from different classes that the area of a rectangle is equal to its base times its height, right? So if this formula tells us to take the radius and multiply it by itself, in other words, we square it, that means we are creating a square out of that radius, okay? And the height is the same height as the radius itself. So in other words, it should reach until the top of the circle. And if we square this thing, we essentially create a square, of course, that reaches to its top. So what is so interesting about this? Okay, this is This is the part that says r squared. This is just that. So what we do now is we multiply this square by pi, by this number, by this amount of times. So we're essentially wrapping this thing around the circle in a very specific way. And right now it's not very obvious, but let's put this square into the middle of the circle. Something like that. And let's start filling up this whole thing with squares. Okay, let's do this right here. Why does it keep doing these dotted lines? We got this. We got this. We got this. And we got this. Now, if we just go ahead and remove all of these square parts that are sticking out, we are left with this Pokemon ball looking thing. And it turns out that, okay, let's say this is like half a square maybe. So this and that thing together, they're like one square. And this big thing plus this big thing amounts to a bit more than one square, just to be exact. So in total, inside of that circle we got 3.1 squares, which is exactly what the formula said. So this is pi basically. This is this amount. Oh, sorry, I think I removed something here, but you get the idea. There's also a different way to visualize this. There's also, but it's the same idea. So I hope that's kind of understandable. Good luck.